Click, click, clap. What's going on, guys? I'm SimpleSimon, and in today's vlog, I'm going to be going to a comic shop that I actually haven't been to in years, I think. I'm going to Collector's Edge today, which is out in Moonee Ponds. Back in the day when I first started collecting comic books, so like 6 years ago, it was one of the shops I would go to, I wouldn't say regularly, but regularly enough. It was just one of the shops I knew about. And even once I started shopping at Big City, especially when I went to move to Footscray and I was still living in Greensboro, it was kind of not out of the way. So sometimes after marks, I actually go through and see what Collector's Edge would have, which feels like I was cheating on Mark. I haven't been there in years just because it's kind of a little bit out of the way now, but it's actually a great shop. Heaps of back issues, heaps of toys, action figures. I'm really excited to go there. I know some of my friends who used to shop there, Sean from Zars Collectibles and Comics, he used to shop there. I know Matt from Talking Pop Culture used to shop there. Miss you, Matt, if you're watching this. So yeah, I'm excited to revisit good old Collector's Edge. Let's do this.
Quick shout out to my Siminions. Your support is greatly appreciated. If you're interested in exclusive members only videos, extended episodes of The Noob, and exclusive emojis, hit the join button to find out more about channel membership. But remember, your membership is not required. The best way to support the channel is by liking and commenting on videos.
Alright, so just a little story about Collector's Edge, which I've always remembered. So back in the early days of when I was collecting comic books, Doomsday Clock was coming out. If you guys remember Doomsday Clock, which was like a follow-up to Watchmen. So I went into Collector's Edge. They had, like, you know, all the issues. I picked up the first 3 issues off the shelf and I walked up at the counter, and the dude there, I said to him, I think he might have mentioned something about Doomsday Clock or Watchmen, and I said, hey, would it be weird for me to read Doomsday Clock without reading Watchmen? And he said, oh, you gotta read Watchmen, right? Which I totally agree with now. Even though I still haven't read Doomsday Clock to this day because people just put me off by telling me it was bad. But I should read it still. I do want to read it still. Yeah, he told me I had to read Watchmen. So I put those 3 issues back on the shelf and I ended up buying a hardcover of Watchmen. I knew that Watchmen was like a classic story, you know, comic book story, you know, one of the most popular graphic novels of all time. So I sat there and I read Watchmen. It took me a while. It took me about a week to get through it, and I didn't enjoy Watchmen, man. It was just, I understand for its time, it was probably fantastic and groundbreaking, but it was just slow, man. So yeah, it's just the memory I always had of Collector's Edge was buying Watchmen from them.
Alright, so just a heads up, this vlog didn't go as planned, and there's actually more of me sitting in the car talking to the camera than there is vlogging, but just a spoiler alert, I do go to another shop later to get some footage. So here we go. I'm on my way to Collector's Edge, and it's always a pain in the ass to park, so I always park in the shopping centre. Collector's Edge is just on the outer edge of a shopping centre, which is Moonee Pond Central, as you can see on the floor there. So you have to walk outside the centre, walk around the corner, and here we go. This is Collector's Edge, the front window. You can't see inside. It's a mystery inside. And they just want to let you guys know that they assure you that they are open.
Okay, so that's never happened before. Normally when I do my vlogs, obviously I often don't ask if I can film. I just kind of do it, especially in bigger sort of stores or, you know, ones in big public places. When I go into like a smaller store where it's just, you know, it's very obvious that I'm standing there sort of filming stuff, I do ask. So I asked if I could film, and I was told no. Not in an aggressive, bad way. So Adrian, who works there, he's the guy who sold me Watchmen. I actually had a really good chat with him, but he said no just because the boss is not a fan of people filming inside the store, basically because the store's been robbed before. So anyway, I didn't get to film in there, but I'm really glad I came. While I was in there, just looking around, so obviously I knew, oh, I'm not going to be able to film in here, but that'll make for a good clickbait title. 2 regulars came in, Harry and Steve, and Harry fully fanboyed out on me and was like, oh my god, I'll watch your videos, da, da, da. He wasn't subscribed. but he watches the videos, but he's subscribed now. So Harry pretty much did an interview with me in the store, asked me why I do YouTube, what it's like, and you know, what I'm into. We started chatting about, you know, if I'm a DC or a Marvel guy, Batman movies. He's a huge collector of DC Multiverse. So I had a big long chat with him and his buddy Steve there. But yeah, that was cool. You know, I do enjoy when people, he asked me for a photo, so you know, obviously I'll say yes. And a lot of people at cons and stuff, like big cons, will ask me for photos. I'm still getting used to it, but you know, Sarah's just like, you love that shit. I was like, it's not like I love it, but I mean, it's a good start, right? I mean, when you get recognized, you know the things that you're doing, you know, are getting out there and people are seeing it. So it was, yeah. So shout out to you, Harry. I gave him a follow on IG so I can check out his collection. It was really cool chatting to those guys. But then after that, I spent some more time in the store just looking at their stuff, and I had a really good chat with Adrian. Like I said, Adrian was the guy who sold me Watchmen back in the day, and we had a good long chat about comic books and, you know, comic fairs and things like that. And he's a really good dude. He was apologetic, obviously, not letting me film, but it was just like, look, the boss doesn't like it. And I was like, it's totally cool, man. But yeah, the shop is just decked out from wall to wall, toys, comics. If you're into toys, you have to go to Collector's Edge. Unfortunately, I couldn't show you, but you're just gonna have to take my word for it. It's worth the trip if you're into your action figures. They don't do a lot of vintage, but I mean, there's probably some stuff I would classify as maybe vintage. They've got heaps of McFarlane, massive collection of McFarlane, Marvel Legends, and old stuff. No, they definitely do vintage. I mean, not crazy vintage stuff, but older Marvel lines, Marvel Select. They do NECA, they do trading cards, accessories for your cards and comics. They've got a massive selection of back issues. It's one of those ones that you really need to want to dig if you're going to go there to go through the back issues. Really, really great shop, and I wish I had more money. I will go back there again. Collector's Edge. I will leave a link to, well, not a link, I'll leave like their address and everything below. So if you do want to check them out, it's definitely worth a trip. But for now, since I need to fill out this video, Lobos was kind of on the way here, so it's kind of going to be on the way back as well. So I'm going to drop into Lobos, get a little bit of footage, and hopefully not spend my money, because the giant size toy fairs this weekend, which by the time you see this would have already come and gone. But I'm going to go to Lobos and have a squeeze in there.
Whenever you need good footage for a vlog, there's always trusty Lobos. So the first shelf I always visit now is the Aliens Predator shelf. Now, I really want to start a Predators NECA collection, but it's just so expensive. They've got some really cool ones here, but again, I just don't know if I want to dive into that money pit just yet. Their Aliens cabinet was actually looking pretty empty. Someone must have come through and cleaned up on their alien stuff. It just didn't seem... Oh, I bought one of those Flying Queens last time I was there, and they've got another one. Beautiful. They've got a RoboCop cabinet, Terminator, all that sort of 80s, 90s action films is in that one cabinet. And then we go over to the DC alley, I like to call it. It's an entire row of just Hawkman, the greatest superhero of all time, according to that note there. I would love one of these Batman grappling launchers in my collection. That would look so good sitting on the shelf. Now, I'm a huge Rocky fan, and if there's any other Rocky fans watching this, when was Roberto Duran in one of the Rocky films? I do not remember that, but let me know if you remember. You got some Akira here for the old school retro anime guys. These awesome Crow trading cards, they look wicked there. And this shelf is a bit of a horror theme. You got a Killer Instinct comic book there. That's pretty badass. And then Lord of the Rings for the Lord of the Rings guy. I am not a Lord of the Rings guy, but you never know. One day, I probably will be. You got all these action figures here from all these nostalgic movies like Last Action Hero, Demolition Man. How good is Demolition Man? I actually have some of these Demolition Man figures loose that I picked up from Aaron's a little while back. And you got this wicked looking Venom figure here. Now, if you guys are old school Marvel Legends collectors, let me know what year that Venom figure came out. I've always wanted one of these Scout Trooper blasters. I used to have one as a kid. They're a little bit pricey, so maybe if I ever find one at a good price, I'll pick one of those up. I've done a ton of footage on all the Star Wars stuff at Lobos in previous videos, so I don't want to spend too much time there, but look how good this cabinet looks, full of Marvel Legends and just Marvel goodness there. And of course, you're going to show some love for DC, because I'm a DC guy, so you got some multiverse stuff here, and some of the more old school DC collectibles figures. I would actually love to own these Bill and Ted figures. They might be on my radar, because I used to tell people when I was a kid that Bill and Ted was my favorite movie. Bogus Journey, oh my god, used to love it. And then I had to flick through their comics to see what they had. Nice Kiss cover there, good pick up there. Now I took this shot keeping in mind that I might use this as the thumbnail image, where I can say, this comic shop didn't let me film, and then I'll use like comics from another shop that did let me film. Well, they didn't let me film, I just filmed. Big book there, big book. And how about this for a book? Double Dragon issue 1. I don't know why I didn't purchase that. Probably because I didn't have a lot of money, but I would like to say I'd go back there and buy it, but one of you guys are probably going to see this video and go buy that book from me, you bastards. There's a nice Corgi Batmobile there. It's in a lot nicer shape than the one I own, I can tell you that. And here's some top shelf goodness for you all. This shot here is from my brother Jason, who's a huge Trekkie. It's Trekkie, right? Not Trekkie. He's a massive Star Trek fan. And then I got a Doctor Who shot here for all the Doctor Who fans, like my channel member David Chapman. Shout out to you, mate.
Alright, so this is probably going to be a pretty short vlog, but I did buy some stuff. I bought something from Collector's Edge, and I also bought something from Lobos. I didn't break the bank, which is good, because originally today after Collector's Edge, I was going to go to Pop Toys and see Andrew. Andrew's got a couple of figures for me, but I'll probably see him later in the week, or if not, I'll see him at the toy fair on the weekend. But yeah, again, Collector's Edge, no stress at all that I couldn't get filming there. It's a shame because, you know, obviously these videos I really want to show you guys places that you can go to in Melbourne, but obviously if you guys are into comic books and toys, like I said, definitely worth checking out, and it's kind of left it as a bit of a mystery, so definitely check out Collector's Edge out in Moonee Ponds if you're ever out that way. Lobos is Lobos. Everyone knows of Lobos. They're the mecca of toy collecting as far as stores go here. So I'll show you what I picked up from both places. Firstly, from Collector's Edge, their back issue range is very, it's one of those things, since I've gone to comics, I get very, it's almost like anxious when there's so much chaos there. So they've got so many back issues, they've got heaps of $2 books, and they've got a massive range of back issues, but I feel like it's very time consuming going through all that, so I didn't do that today. I obviously didn't want to spend a lot of money today. I was really just looking at comic books on their walls, and I happened to pick this one up, which I've been after for a while now. I remember Mark at Big City Comics used to have it, and I didn't, actually he had it as part of a set, so I think he was selling the whole story arc or the whole set of these, but you guys know I'm a Luke Skywalker guy. Yeah, this is a cover I've been after for a while, so 15 bucks. I got that for, it's a 1 in 15. I actually didn't realize that it was a 1 in 15 variant cover, but yeah, classic image of young Luke there, so I picked that one up. And then from Lobos, oh man, they've got some sick Predator NECA figures there, and I wouldn't mind building on my NECA Predator because I think the line of Predators look so cool, but I just couldn't afford them today. But I noticed in their Motu cabinet, Masters of the Universe, they had all the little mini comic books. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe they came with the toys. There is one of those Masters of the Universe mini comics that I actually have been after for a while. So I went through them and I found the one that I've been after, which is this one here. Grislaw, the legend comes alive. Now, why would I want this? I'm not a huge, I mean, look, I loved Masters of the Universe as a kid, and it's something I would love to revisit as far as my collecting goes, but why would I want this one in particular? Now, I learnt this from Comic Collector Geek, so shout out to him who I actually found this information from. This is the first cover art done by, look at the signature, Bruce Timm's. So yeah, famous comic book artist, obviously Bruce Timm's, a lot of people love his work, and this is pretty nice art there. So yeah, according to Comic Collector Geek, this was one of his first published covers, I believe. So yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. Yeah, these are cool little comic books, so maybe one day I'll get back into Motu and go and collect all of these, but yeah, just a little fun fact for you guys there, and that's why I picked that one up there. It was $19. Some of them were 10. They had 2 of these as well. The other one was pretty ratty, and this one you can see it's pretty nice condition, Matt. So happy with those purchases. This vlog was probably more talking than it was vlogging out in the world and shops and stuff, but hopefully you guys, I know it wasn't too boring, but yeah, Collector's Edge, their address will be below. I'll put Lobos in there as well. Obviously, if you guys are new to the channel, this is probably not the best video to be introduced to my vlogs. So if you want to see more vlogs of the events I go to, the places I go to, the shops, check out the playlist in the description, the comic and toy hunting playlist. So yeah, that's it. If you guys are still watching this, I appreciate you. Give this video a like, leave a comment if you wish, and until next time, I'm Simple Simon. Tell your friends and keep it simple.